Hey guys, Joseph here with Haunted Hideouts, and I am in the middle of packing right now. Our team is doing a overnight/weekend investigation at the Jasper Jail. Now our team is going to be arriving Friday, and the majority of the team is going to be spending the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there. I'm going to be joining them probably early on Saturday, maybe Saturday morning to mid-afternoon or so. And then I'll be spending the night on Saturday myself, leaving on Sunday. So while I'm going through all my gear here and I'm making sure everything is charged and packed and all good to go, so it got me thinking. It's like, well, okay, well I have a lot of gear, and I thought maybe a lot of you guys might be interested in seeing some of this gear and wanting to know my thoughts on the gear, and if I like it, if I dislike it. A lot of this stuff I've been using for quite a few years, and since I have so much of it, I can kind of give you guys a quick little comparison of my thoughts, likes, and dislikes on it all. So let me go ahead and get started. Now, this comparison is only on EMF, so EMF detectors, okay? Now, some of my gear here is multi-purpose gear, so the gear is able to do maybe temperature, EMF, among other things, sense vibrations and such. But this review is strictly only for the EMF side of it only, okay? So to help me show you guys, I have my EM pump by Digital Dowsing. Right, here we go. And I've had this pump for a few years. I don't really use it much, but the investigation that we're going to be doing, last time we were there, had a lot of batteries being drained. Hoping maybe if I bring this along with me, it'll help me, at least prevent some batteries being drained, possibly. But worst case, it's going to help me today. So I'm going to kind of do this with my least favorite EMF detector, kind of going upwards to my favorite, okay? So for my least favorite EMF detector, I have the Paraforce PF Quad. Now I have a review in my YouTube for this device. I love the device as a whole. It's great for temperature, vibration. It's a fantastic REM pod. But again, this review is just for the EMF side of stuff only. And as far as the EMF goes in this device, it sucks. When I first bought the device, I was playing with the display model that they have inside the store, and I couldn't trigger the EMF at all. I thought maybe it was just the store's display model that was broken. So when I went ahead and I bought my device, I came home to try mine out. Everything works fantastic except the EMF. I've never been able to trigger the EMF ever in this device, not with the EM pump or anything, up until today. I was literally just playing with it before I started the video, right? And we turn this device on. See the back right here? I have an EMF. And where you just saw these lights go across here, that's where it detects the EMF signal. So while I'm playing with this device and I have my EM pump, I kind of discovered like a sweet spot. At a certain angle, I was able to trigger it a few times. I can't really seem to do it every time. I don't know why. But let me go ahead and flip this on. EM pump is going. And when I kind of came in at an angle like that, while this is sitting on the counter, I got it to beep a few times. As you see, I still can't get it to beep. I mean, the EM pump is putting off a pretty good signal, and I cannot get this device to beep. I don't know. So that's why this device is my least favorite for EMF. Next we have, let's see here, the ELF, the ELF zone meter, right here. This wasn't designed for ghost hunting or anything. It's just basically to see in your home or wherever you're at if the range of EMF that's out there, if it's safe for you or not. So if it lights up green, then you're in the safe zone. And then there's a yellow light for, I guess, when it's starting to get a little dangerous, so they caution you. And then you have the red light for the EMF is too high and it can be dangerous if you're exposed for a long term. So let me go ahead and show you this. It kind of sucks because I never used this device, and I literally just removed the batteries from it earlier before I decided to make the video, and then I had to disassemble it again to put the batteries back in, which it takes 3 screws on the back to take it apart to put the batteries in and out. So it's not exactly convenient for swapping out batteries, but the screw holes are empty because the screws are out right now for the video. But I'm gonna turn it on. Go through a little system check there. You see it flash. So it's green. There's nothing giving off any high signal in here. Let me turn on the EM pump. Okay. As you can see, EM pump does work despite my PF quad device earlier not going off. So this device, I guess for safety concerns, it's probably a great device. As far as paranormal hunting goes, ghost hunting, I've only used it a couple times. I haven't had the greatest amount of luck with it. I think the ranges are just meant for safety and not really sensitive enough for the paranormal field. So that's why that is next on the list of least favorite devices. Going up from there, I have the Gauss meter. I remember seeing this being used probably back in the day, I don't know, like 2008, 9, something like that maybe, on ghost hunters and stuff, and thought it'd be cool, so I finally added one to my gear collection a few years ago. I use it a couple times. I don't use it a lot. I do like it, and I like the fact that it actually makes noise. What I don't like is there is no official on and off switch. There's a little button on the side right here. You press that, and the device stays on for X amount of time. Maybe it's like a few minutes or something like that. And then the device automatically turns off. Again, this is another device that, as far as I know, was not made for the paranormal field, but adopted into the field. So, let me turn on the EM pump again. Did it turn off? Where's it going? Let's see. Let me turn this on again. Oh, it's not even triggering it. Look at that. Oh, that's weird. Huh. So I can't even get a reading on this device either. I've never tried to trigger this with the EM pump before. I can put this near a light source and I can get it to go off. But this meter does have another feature here. The button that you press to turn it on, you can hold it down, right? And then it becomes more sensitive. So right now it's picking up my computer, my camera, whatnot, and the meter. Let go of the button, the device is still on, but it's less sensitive. So how that's gonna affect your investigations, it's not gonna be triggered as easily. That might be good because you might not get so many false positives, but it might be harder for spirits to communicate with you unless they have like a really strong EMF signal that they're giving off. So that's why that device falls in the low end of my gear as well. It is the ghost meter. So turn on this meter, press this button. It flashes, the dial moves. Turn on the EM pump. As you can see, when the dial moves up into the danger zone, the red lights up here will flash. So you kind of get a visual with the red lights and the dial, which is nice, because if you just have this sitting down somewhere, and if the spirit's able to actually trigger the device hard enough, you'll get some lights too. So it is something that is pretty cool. I haven't used it a lot, but I do plan on using it more, so maybe I can do another review down the road how I feel about this device. But there is a version of it, a Pro meter, the Ghost Meter Pro, that while I don't have one yet, I have got to play with one a little bit, which has a built-in yes and no feature. So same meter as this, but with a built-in yes and no. But pretty cool meter too to have in the collection. They used to be really dirt cheap, but for some reason lately, in the past few years, they have kind of shot up in price. I got these for I think about 30 bucks. I think back when I first bought mine, and then I've seen them go upwards of $70 to $200 for a while, and then nothing was available on eBay for purchase. And then lately they kind of seem to be back on eBay again, but they're still hanging around the $50, $60 mark, which for that price I would rather have a K2 meter, I think. But still cool to have in the collection as well. Next on this device is my very first ever piece of paranormal equipment that I've ever got. I bought this at Ghost Augustine back around 2007 to 2008, somewhere around there, maybe 2008, and it's my first K2 meter. Now this is the old school ones when they were only made in the gray color, and they had no true on and off switches on them, so to go ahead and turn the device on, you'd have to hold this button down and press it, and the moment you let go of the device, it would turn itself back off. Now currently there's no battery in this. It does take two screws. I'd have to unscrew if I want to put a battery in it. But having to hold this down the entire time really sucks. Again, this device was not meant for the paranormal field, but once again, it was adopted into the paranormal field. I know Ghost Augustine claims part of the fame for saving this device, that they continued purchasing this device from the manufacturer back when the manufacturer was about to discontinue the model, and I guess they were going to close up shop, and Ghost Augustine would have to pay money out of their own pocket to go ahead and fund a run of K2 meters so that they could sell them at their shop. I think Chris Fleming, if I remember his name correctly, was the one who either told ghost hunters or sent a device to ghost hunters, but he got ghost hunters to use the K2 meter, and that kind of sparked the fame. Everybody wanted to ghost hunt after that show, and this was one of the meters that they used, so this meter became famous. So thank you to both Chris and to Ghost Augustine for everything you've done to get this meter out there. I do love this meter. I don't love this old model that you have to hold the button down, because if your finger just lightly lets up on the button, it'll flash to do a light check on it, and sometimes it looks like you get a false positive. Ghost hunters would put a coin, they'd push this down, and they'd shove like a coin, like a nickel or dime or something, inside there to hold the button down, and that was how they did it back then to keep it on. Some models, people would screw a hole into it, put a toggle switch and stuff, which kind of led into this next model, which is the current run K2 meter here. It has a new UV sticker decal on it, and this one, press the button in, and it stays on. After it does a little light check, and it stays on. So now this is like super convenient to use for paranormal investigations. You can just leave it down. lights up. You know, a lot of people like that it makes no noise, but there are companies out there that add a little noise meter to it, so you can hear it beep whenever it lights up, which I will probably be adding one of those to my collection here pretty soon, I think. So, great meter, a must-have for any paranormal investigator, in my opinion. Again, let me show it with this, the old handy-dandy EM pump to get it to light up for y'all. So you can see how sensitive it is. Alright. Push it again, turn it off. And then up next is, I'd say, one of my main go-to devices. If you've been a follower, subscriber of my videos and my channel, then you would have seen this device countless times. It's my EDI meter, the Eddy meter, as they call it. The EDI is a multi-purpose meter. It's got vibration, temperature, it's got a little built-in speaker you can turn on and off, and it does the EMF right here. So with this device, flip it on, flashes real quick, right? It's going through its little calibration real fast, and then once that's done flashing, it's ready to go. Alright, so it's ready to rock and roll right now. Oh, hold on. Forgot to turn off the geophone for the vibration. There we go. Because we're just focusing on, again, the EMF feature. Turn on my handy dandy EM pump once again. You hear that? So it flashes and it beeps. And the stronger the EMF signal that comes into it, the louder and faster it tends to go off, to a point where the blue lights basically just stay on and it makes a noise. Which this pump, I guess, is not really strong enough to do that, but you get the idea. Great device. It comes with like the rubber coating on it here, so it's kind of tough, you know, in case you drop it or it gets bumped over, which it did get knocked over the last time we went to the jail for the overnight investigation. It was standing up, laying on the bed, I think for like 15 minutes or so while we asked questions in the jail cell, and then it just literally just falls back and tumbles over. Awesome piece of evidence. And again, the fact that it fell over makes me thankful that it has the rubber coating on it. This is the first version of this meter that came out. There is a new version, which I sent one to my friend George back a year or so ago. So he has one of the updated ones. And my partner Carla in the team, she has the updated version of one of these too, which has a few more features. It does everything this does, but it does like humidity and pressure, and you can actually put like a little memory card in there and record and graph when and what changes and fluctuates during it. But I really don't use those features in any of that, so I just stay true to my first edition EDI. I love this thing. Alright, up next here we have Mel meter. Now I did a review, not really a review, but more of like, I don't know, an unboxing, I guess you'd say, of these meters just last week or so. So again, if you watched the video, you would have seen me talking about the Mel meter. This is the one that I've had. I've only used it a couple times. It's a standard new black edition one that they have. Hold the button down, and it kicks on. This is the EMF reading, and then down below it is the temperature, right? So there's a couple different things about this. So when I turn on my pump, you're going to see that the pump's going to come on, and there's going to be a delayed reaction for the EMF reading on this, okay? And it's going to basically hesitate, and then when I turn the device off, it's still going to show the reading even though there's no more signal of EMF coming through to it. And that's all in part because of the temperature. The processing chip on this thing is trying to do EMF and temperature, and it's too much for it, so it becomes delayed. So turn it on. See if I can get it to spike a little bit more. See, it's kind of delayed. Now let me turn this device off and see. Come on. Device is off. And it's still showing the reading for a moment afterwards. Now if I hold down the range fast button, it now kicks off the temperature. So when I turn this on, you see how fast that is? So if you want a more accurate EMF reading, then go ahead and turn off the temperature feature. If you want them both going, then be prepared to have the delay. So you may have already walked past your source if you're hand holding and carrying this device. I'm going to turn it back off, hold down the button. And that brings me to my very last device, my white whale, if you watched the white whale video. And that again is the MEL meter, but it's got the built-in K2. So same meter as the black one that I just showed you. Turn it on. Everything's the same about this. Turn this device on. Here it goes. So you can see the spike in the EMF, right? Turn it off. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. Turn off the temperature. And it's much faster. I mean, it picks it up so much quicker that way. Now I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to kick on the K2, right? I got my little switch in the back here. K2 meter, kick it on. Now I am rocking the MEL meter and a K2 meter all in one device. So, while I have not technically investigated with this new MEL meter with the built-in K2, I am already labeling it as a favorite of mine. The MEL meter rocks, the K2 rocks. You know, I get my digital number display, and I also get the effects of the flashing lights and stuff, which filming in the dark when you have a group of people, it's a great thing to have. So basically that's it. That concludes my EMF meters I have in my collection right now. I hope this was informative for y'all, and hope you enjoyed. Y'all take care. Have a nice day. See ya.